Hi there, this is Captain Hank Kroll. I'm the author of this huge book, Cosmological Ice Ages. It's available from Trafford and it's on Barnes & Noble right now and Amazon.com. What I did with this book is I discovered some information that we are traveling toward Hercules, a star cluster outside our galaxy. This is compiled by two astronomers that catalog the velocities of 2,149 bright stars. W. Campbell and J.H. Moore found the position of the apex to be 271 degrees toward the constellation Hercules. Well, I wanted to know where we're leaving from, so I drew a map. I drew a line on a map from the center of a constellation map toward Hercules and extended it out backwards, and we're leaving Orion. This is logical progression of understanding because Orion is a birthplace for stars, so I assume that our sun was born in Orion. You can see new stars coming out of there. There's a lot of dust in the area. Anyway, we were born in Orion, and the planets were formed, and after we drifted out of there, Earth was a gas planet, had a 750 pound per square inch atmosphere, and then it froze up because the sunlight couldn't get through such an atmosphere. It extended more than 2,500 miles above the surface of the planet, and the sun didn't burn as hot at that time as it does today. And what happened is we were in an ice age for over 1 billion years here on Earth, and there was no way to get out of that ice age except for the fact that we happened to drift between Procyon and Sirius after a couple billion years. And little Sirius B, which has more mass and more gravity than our sun, came around. It orbits Sirius A every 54 years, matched our speed and put us in a nice tight orbit around Sirius at less than a 20th of a light year. This additional light and heat from these large stars is what took us out of that billion-year ice age where the oceans were froze over more than a mile deep. And that is the only thing that could possibly break through there, because Sirius B puts out more than 100 times the ultraviolet light of our sun, and you need that ultraviolet light to get the plants to grow in the oceans, to release free oxygen so that later on animals could exist. Well, that went fine for 350 million years, or 650 million years, and then all of a sudden the temperature dropped down about 2.5 million years ago. This is a time-life graph. Came out of a time-life book. I blew it up so you could see it. You can see the temperature used to be in the Cambrian era around 50 degrees after we got out of the billion-year ice age, and then it was 80 to 90 degrees all the way up to about 2.5–3 million years ago. And then there was an explosion occurred in Orion. It caused the Banard's loop explosion, and the temperature dropped down to this line right here, which is 32 degrees. You can see that 32-degree line, and that is the average temperature on Earth now. So we're not in global warming, we're in an ice age. All past geologic ages were quite warm, 60 to 80 degrees and up to 90 degrees. And that's when all of our coal, oil, and limestone were formed on Earth. The carbon resources were taken out of the air. The carbon dioxide was laid down as coal, oil, and limestone from that really thick atmosphere. Now we've lost 98% of our atmosphere on the planet. It's down to 14.5 pounds per square inch. And the bureaucrats want to force us to pump the CO2 or stop releasing CO2, which is only 0.033%. You'll die without it. You can't grow food. It's plant food. We need it to grow our gardens. It's only 1/3 of 1% of the atmosphere right now, and it's not a greenhouse gas. It's a trace gas. Thank you, and if you read this book, it'll change your whole perspective. It's like taking the blue pill in the Nexus.